stressing. It's double murder. And the police, working with a clinical psychologist, fear that the man who did it might have killed before and might do it again. Our reconstruction, therefore, is aimed not just at prompting memories, but to warn others who might be vulnerable to the attacker. And if you've the slightest suspicion from what follows, we're asking you to call straight away. Some details of this crime haven't been made public until tonight, but in a moment we'll unveil the profile of the offender. First, the story of the victims. Almost all the people you see are the real witnesses. The day before Guy Fawkes night, and Conrad Ellum dropped in to see his girlfriend before he went to work. Samantha Bisset and her daughter Jazmine lived in Plumstead in South London.
Sam?
I saw the stain on the carpet, and when I looked in the kitchen, everything was messy, and I found this confusing. At first, I thought there was something had been spilled. Then I thought maybe there'd been a burglar in the house. And then when I went into the next room and saw Sam, I realised what had happened.
Oh, she was a loving child. A very caring kind of girl. She wanted very much to go to art college. And after her father died, we decided to go back to Scotland. Maybe the wrong decision for her, because I found out later that she went through a lot of bullying and the wrong accent, the wrong time, you know. So, of course, she wanted to leave school as soon as possible after that.
Samantha had been brought up in Gloucestershire and wanted to go back to England. She became a New Age traveller, then 5 years later decided to have a child.
When she told me that she was going to have this baby, I was delighted. And she thought I wouldn't be, because it was out of wedlock, so to speak. She didn't want a husband per se. After Jazmine, that girl's life just changed completely. It was just unbelievable. She became just the perfect mother. She wanted the very best for that child.
Right.
Samantha met Conrad when she settled down in Plumstead, and he soon became like a father to Jazmine. But Samantha had ambitious dreams that he felt were unrealistic.
A bigger place is perfect for Jazmine. Hey, JJ, come here. Look. This could be your new school.
Conrad was a good pal, but I don't think he gave her the commitment that she wanted. She wanted to meet new people to broaden her horizons, to make sure that she took every opportunity she could to help this child.
What's wrong, sweetheart?
I can't sleep.
I'll come in a minute. Just let me finish this first. I've tried to be friendly, but I don't seem to have much in common with the housewives and mums we've met around here. I would really like to get to know people who are on a similar sort of wavelength. So please, be brave and leave a message.
Samantha placed ads in the local paper, hoping to meet friends. She was evidently lonely.
Thanks. I'm from Scotland originally. My mum still lives there. I'm a single mother. JJ's father lives on the south coast. Did I mention I was a vegetarian?
Yeah, you've mentioned it in the ads. Sam and I hit it off from the start and became very good friends. We've got a lot of things in common. Well, we'll have a bit of a laugh in 2 weeks' time. Get on really fine.
After meeting Phil and other people in the local district, Samantha put ads in a newspaper that's London-wide. It's not clear what she expected, but she was shocked at some of the replies.
How to describe myself? I'm 27. I'm tall, blonde. I suppose you could call me upmarket. Hello? Mum, no, yeah, it's all right. I just had a funny call.
Sometimes she was feeling great.
She's in bed.
Everything was going really well. But most times she was a bit down. And I used to think, well, she's putting every effort into this child. And I used to worry about her own life, just the drag of, you know, taking Jazmine to play school, taking her to swimming. The whole week was just around Jazmine.
The week before the murders, John Clark, a local cab driver, remembers an event while dropping Sam and Jazmine home.
That's next ride.
Okay.
Oh, God.
What's the matter?
It's that van. I just hope it's not who I think it is.
She seemed genuinely alarmed at this van, but I had a look around.
There's no one else.
There didn't seem to be anyone near.
Okay.
So I made sure she was okay, and off she went.
Throughout that week, neighbours saw the yellow van in Heathfield Terrace. If it was yours, please call. And who were the two men with it?
I always walk past Sam's to take my dog out. I see these two guys there with a little dog a couple of times. I think they're living it now. I just assumed they were friends of Sam's.
The day Samantha died was Wednesday, November the 3rd. Conrad left at lunchtime.
See you later, yeah?
Yeah, I won't be over tonight.
Okay. Oh, don't forget we've got to go to JJ's school
The
tomorrow.
last time I saw Sam, we talked mostly about the holiday we were going to go on. We were really looking forward to it. It would have been Jazmine's first holiday. Sam's mother had lent us the money to go to the Gambia, and we were very excited about going somewhere so exotic.
At 3:30, as usual, Samantha picked up her daughter from the nursery.
Jazmine, Mummy's here. It's time to go.
The cab driver is the last person known to have seen them alive. He dropped them home at 20 to 4. We don't know what they did that evening, but Jazmine was clearly put to bed as usual. At 10:15 that night, a woman was driving past Samantha's flat.
I was coming back from my friend's house. I was driving up the hill, and as I was coming up to the top, some man just walked straight out in front of my car. I noticed it was odd because he didn't acknowledge me. When I got to the top, I looked left, and I couldn't see him, so I presumed that he had gone in towards the flat, because there couldn't have been anywhere else he could have gone.
15 minutes later, a neighbour was out walking his dog.
That time of day? Yeah, I come round some.
Samantha probably died from a single knife wound. After death, her body was then moved and systematically cut. There was no evidence of robbery or rape. Jazmine had been suffocated in her bed. Terribly sad case, and in a way even more tragic, because Mike Banks' Jazmine, who was 4.5, was sexually abused. Now, that's not been made public until tonight. Why are you so anxious that we should publish that now?
Well, I'm very afraid that this man will murder again. And I think I'm appealing to people that might have an inkling, they might know the person that could be responsible for these murders. I'm looking for a friend, a relative, perhaps even a wife or a girlfriend. And once they realise what has happened to this poor young child, a defenceless young child of 4 years of age, then I'm hoping they'll contact us and help us with this major inquiry.
Well, to give you some idea, we're also able to tell you for the first time tonight something of the background, the profile of this man. He's thought to be over 25. He's likely to have used contact ads, and maybe you've met him through one. He would have been unlikely to sustain stable relationships, and indeed probably has been violent to women and may have hurt prostitutes. A possible history of animal mutilation as well, but on the surface he'll probably appear quite normal. He's likely to have a normal job. He is, though, as the superintendent says, likely to reoffend. If he had gone to prostitutes, if he had attacked some sort of woman before, I mean, what sort of attack? What would it be that she'd recognise in his behaviour?
Well, I think rather than having sex possibly with a prostitute or perhaps even to somebody he's met through a contact magazine, he'd most likely want to hurt them as opposed to having sex.
Paul Britton's a clinical psychologist. How much, you studied this man in some detail, as much as you can, how much do you think you know him?
I think we know quite well what was going through his mind at the time of the offence, but I would like him to tell me how he got started on the pathway that led him eventually to harm Samantha. I would also like him to tell me why it was necessary for him to harm the child as well.
When you say you'd like him to tell you, I mean, he's not very likely to ring out and say, "Can I speak to Paul Britton, please?" and here are his answers. Or is he, do you think?
I think that there is a possibility that he might want to do that.
Is there anything else that you can tell us about him? I mean, will he share his interest with other people, do you think? Will anyone else sort of recognise, hey, you know, we had photographs of this, or, you know, is there anything else that he...
There is a possibility that this man will use a very specialist form of pornography, that focusing on the mutilation of women. And I think anyone living with him or in close proximity to him might be aware of this, and that would be important.
Superintendent, there are a lot of people that you want to eliminate, and I must stress, it is to eliminate. These aren't people you suspect. The yellow van, first of all, was pretty clear. Yes. You've got to try and eliminate whoever was there in that. There was also a man who's been seen with her, with Samantha, and you've got some pictures of him.
Yes, that's correct. There's an art impression. I don't know if it's showing up on the screen. The first one is a man. He's got a ponytail. You can't see it there, but he's also got this earring in his left ear, which looks like a cross. Now, this is believed to possibly have been a man who was going with Samantha during the summer. And in fact, he's very similar to the description of one of the men seen in the yellow van. Now, whether it's one and the same person...
Let's look at the other picture now. If that's you, you're not under suspicion, but please call us straight away. We really do need to contact you. And also, if you were outside the flat in Plumstead, it's Heathfield Terrace, Wednesday, November the 23rd. If there's any reason you should recall that and you were wearing a white Mac, a long white Mac with a collar up right down to your shoes almost, you were seen there probably waiting for somebody, please call, again, you're not under suspicion. If you can help in any way, call Mike Banks or any of his colleagues, or you can ask for a BBC researcher here, direct in the studio, 0500 600 600. Incidentally, if you ask to speak to Paul Britton, please don't waste our time. It's far too serious for practical jokes or pranks, and we've got ways of eliminating people who are trying that anyway. Or you can call the Instant Room in Thamesmead. That's 081 312 1200. That's 081 312 1200.